Good day, guys. I hope you're all doing so well. Grade 11s and grade 12s and even grade 10s are welcome in this video. As we're preparing for final examinations, we are looking at this question paper of 2017 grade 11 November examination, mathematics paper 1, solve for x 1.1.1. Let us just start. Now we've got bracket of 2x minus 3, close bracket, open bracket, x plus 7, close bracket equal to 0. Solve for x. Now, in this case, guys, you have got two products, the first product and the second product. Now, if I've got two products, those two products, when you want to find the answer, you need to equate them to 0. Like if we've got multiplication in the middle between the first product and the second product. If we've got multiplication between the first product and the second product, equate the first product to 0 and the second product to 0 and solve for x. Basically, hurry, 2x minus 3 equal to 0 or x plus 7 equal to 0. Basically, these are two solutions and solve for x. Transpose this 3 to the right, 2x equal to 3 and divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2, then x on again, 3 divided by 2 or x. I transpose this 7 to the right, it's going to be negative 7 again. X equal to negative 7. These are your two solutions, therefore you are done with 1.1.1. This is how we simplify it, basically. This thing only applies when it's 0. But if we had it been that there's maybe 2 here, or any number besides 0, you are going to be forced to use FOIL. Multiply the brackets out and transpose this to, after you've multiplied the brackets out, you're going to transpose this 2 to the right, to the left, and be left with 0 on the right. That's our aim. Your aim should be that there must be 0 on that side only when solving such equations or solve for x. You should have 0 on the other side for you to actually conclude or use quadratic formula, open two brackets, anything. As long as it involves solve for x, you must have 0 on the other side. In these cases, I hope you are clear. 1.1.2 of 2017, paper 1, we have got 7x squared plus 3x minus 2 equal to 0. Solve for x. In brackets, you must just write your answer to two decimal places. Very important. Very, very important. Now, guys, remember that this is a quadratic trinomial, or this is the quadratic equation. Because of what we've got, this equation is written in this form here: ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. These are a, b, and c. If it's written in this form, therefore, you use which equation? Equation now on here: x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Then now you substitute where cb, you put in 3, you minus bracket 3 plus or minus the square root of, what is the value of b? Is 3, again is 3 squared minus 4. Value of a is 7 times 7. Value of c is negative 2 minus negative 2, all divided by 2 multiplied by a is 7. We are clear here, guys. Then now you're going to have two solutions. Plus or minus. The first solution should be plus or minus. It's your choice. You need to start with plus, or minus. It's your choice. You can start with any of the signs between plus and minus. This one. You're going to have two solutions. You put the whole thing inside the calculator. The only difference here, you need to start with any of the two sides, positive or negative. When you start with positive, you're going to get negative 3 plus square root of 65 divided by 14, or x is going to be equal to negative 3 minus square root of 65, all divided by 14. And you are done with the 1.1.2, you are done with it. This is how you simplify. Then please write your answer in two decimal places. It's very important. If the question directs you to do that, you must do it. You must just finish off by writing two decimal places. Are we clear? Yes. Now, let's go to 1.1.3. 1.1.3. 1.1.3. It's very simple, Leona. It's radicals. X minus 1 plus 3 is equal to x. Solve for x in this case. Now, your aim when you've got square roots or radicals when you solve for x, your aim should be that you must be left with a term that has got a square root, or you should be left with one product on one side, or you should be left with one term on one side. In this case, and that term should be that term that consists of a square root. Now, which term consists of a square root? This one, again, this one. Now, we don't need this plus 3. This plus 3 needs to be removed from the left and be left with only this one that has got the square root side. Had it been that we had multiplication in the middle here, if we had multiplication, then that was going to be the difference story. We're just gonna square on both sides here and simplify. But now we are having positive in the middle. It's gonna change the narrative, okay? Yes. If you have positive or negative, you must transpose it to the left, to the other side, and be left with this thing only. But if you had or you have multiplication in the middle, you just square both sides and finish off everything properly. So now you must transpose this positive 3 to the right here. It's gonna be x minus 3. This is our aim. You must be left with this thing only. If and only if there's positive or negative in the middle. I hope we are clear. Then you square. Come on, get square root here. You square. To remove the square root into square both sides. Then this square root will remove this square here and left with x minus 1 equal to. This is our foil here. Or I can also foil on a one. Here to x minus 3 here. Then this x times x squared. X times 3x minus 3x. Negative 3 times x negative 3x. Then negative 3 times negative 3 positive 9. Then you add like terms. These are like terms like here. Negative 3x minus 3x negative 6x plus 9. This is how you do it. I hope you are clear on that one. Then you've got x squared minus 6x plus 9. You foil, guys. Please remember foil. And our aim is to be left with 0 on one side. Therefore, I'm going to transpose this 2 terms to the right and be left with 0 on the left. And here, so it's 0 here. You've got x squared and here minus 6x. X to the right is minus x plus 9 here. 1 to the right is plus 1 here. Then you just add like terms. X squared negative 6x minus x here minus 7x. 9 plus 1 is 10. Then the quadratic, and you can use quadratic equation. We can open 2 brackets and here and find factors. Open 2 brackets or use the quadratic equation. It's your choice. X, factors of x squared is x and x here. Then which 2 terms can I multiply to give me 10 and add them, or add them to give me the majority, which is negative 7, kappa 7. Now it was about 5 times 2 get 10 here, and 5 plus 2 is 7. That means 5 and 2 are factors in this case. The signs should be different because the bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. Between 5 and 2, which one is big is 5 and then for us to find the sign for this part, we are going to say negative divided by positive is negative. So that when you multiply them out, I get negative 5 times negative 2, positive 10 here. Negative 5 minus 2, negative 7. That's how we do it here. Therefore, x here is equal to 5, or x here is equal to positive 2. Now, these are radicals. You need to make sure that you must have only one solution in this case. Now, between this 5 and 2, you must substitute them where you see x and see what if the left side is equal to the right side now. When you put 5 where you see x, and you 5 minus 1 give 4 here. The square root of 4 give 2, then 2 plus 3 give 5. Then when you put 5 where you see x on our right is 5. That means when I put 5 where I see x on my left, it gives me 5. When I put 5 on my right where I see x, gives me, that means 5 is our answer. But we need to test these two again to see if it suits or what, or it's part of the solution or what. Yeah. When you put 2 where you see x, going to be 2 minus 1 give 1. Square root of 1 give 1. 1 plus 3 give 4. On my left is, and the answer is 4. Then when I put x on my right, the answer is 2. That means the left side is not equal to the right side. That means x is not equal to 2. This is how you conclude. Very important. This is a mark by its own, by conclusion. That means your left side must be equal to your right side, and 5 is the correct answer in this case, and 2, x is not equal to 2. That's how you conclude this type of questions. Are we clear? Yes. The last question for this question paper, in terms of 1.1, inequality, x squared is bigger than 3x plus 6. Very important. Now, for us to solve for x, or to solve for inequality, make sure that if we've got a squared here, it's a quadratic by default. Make sure that 0 is left alone on one side. And for us to be left with 0 on any of the two sides, we need to transpose between x squared and 3 times x plus 6 to the other side. So I can take this expression, this term to the left, and here I'm going to have x squared minus 3x plus 6, and here is bigger than 0. Remember, this is a product. This is a product. So you can change the sign of this thing that is inside the bracket. Only change the sign of this 3, which is going to be negative, and here please note that. Then now, for me to simplify this problem here, remember this is not a product, it's an expression, or they've got two terms. This is not a product. There are no two products, but instead there are two terms in this case. This is the first term, and the second term is this one. So we don't want terms, we want products in this case. For us to remove this concept of products, we need to show that we multiply this 3 by x, negative 3 by plus 6 here. So I'm going to have x squared minus 3x minus 18 here, because 3 times 6 is 18 is bigger than 0. Then now I need to find the critical values. CV, critical values. I just to quadratic, I open 2 brackets and I just make an equal sign. Factors of x squared are x and x. Which two terms can I multiply to give me negative 18 and add them to give me negative 3? Which two terms? I know that 6 times 3. You will find those factors when you find the factors of 18. And here 6 and 3 are factors of 18. So write those factors of 18, you will see that 6 times 3 is 18 and here. Then 6 minus 3 is 3. That means 6 and 3 are suitable factors. We put them here, 6 and 3. In terms of the sign, the bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. Between 6 and 3, which one is big is 6 and 8. That means we're going to sign negative 3, which is my negative. Then for us to find the sign for this part, I'm going to say negative divided by negative is positive. Because negative 6 times positive 3 is negative 18. Negative 6 plus 3 negative 3. That's how you find the answer. Therefore, our critical values here are 6 and negative 3. Remember, there are two solutions here. This 6, when it's going to change the sign here, when it comes out of the bracket, it's going to be positive 6, and this 3 is going to change the sign to negative. It's like solving for x when you've got two brackets here. It's like the very same thing. You just write them like this when you find critical values here. Yeah, it's the same procedure that we do when you solve for x. You just change the sign here. Yeah. Then now, you're not done inequality. Draw your number line here. And you've got negative 3 and 6 here. You draw your balls and you don't color them because of what there is no equal sign. Now, our aim is to get answers that are positive. I will tell you why. And you remember Barry is bigger than 0. And here, let me just use this equation. They are the same, but this one is very simple. It's in simplest form. Okay? So I think it's better just to use this one because it's in simplest form already. Now, I get okay, this equation should be bigger than 0. What is the sign of values that are bigger than 0? They are positive. Okay? Now, we need to find the side, in this case, of which those values are positive. Which means it's either those values are between -3 and 6, or those values are bigger than 6, or smaller than -3. It's a choice. You must just find out. Now let us check. Let me just use values that are smaller than -3. I get -4, -5, -6. Those values are smaller than -3. Okay? Let me just put in -4 for the example. Where I see x, I put in negative. I hear -4 squared minus 3 times -4 minus 18 again. Then you use your calculator there. The answer is 10 again for this one. The answer is 10. Now, what is the sign of our 10? It's positive. On this side, they are positive. Which means all those values to the left or that are smaller than -3 are positive here. Our aim is to look at the sign only. Our aim is to look at the sign. Then values that are bigger than 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. We are looking at 7 where we see x. So is 10 again. Come on, again. The values that are bigger than 6 are positive. Our aim is to check the sign. Let's check the values that are between -3 and 6. Any value that is between -3 and 6, and you have to check its sign only. When you put in 0, 0 is between -3 and 6. You can put in -1, -2. You can put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bigger than those numbers. Between -3 and 6, we find from -2 to 5. Any number between -2 and 5, you can use them. Right? Let us use 0. When you put in 0 there, to 0, even 0, and our answer is going to be -18. That means you just check the sign. The sign is negative. You put in against negative. That means we are okay. Now let's check the sign of our inequality is bigger than 0. It's positive. Now, where is positive on our number line is sideways and here is this side and this side. Therefore, our answer is going to be, our inequality is going to be x should be smaller than -3 or x should be bigger than 6. This is how you're going to write the equality. That's how you find the solution for inequality, guys. I hope we are clear on that one. Are we clear? Yebo. It's very simple. 1.2 is solved for x and y, simultaneous equation. And here we've got 2y plus x equal to 1. This is our equation number 1 here. And we've got x squared plus y squared plus 3xy plus y equal to 0, our second equation. Now, guys, for us to solve for x and y, in this case, we've got two solutions. Now, the first one, here 2y plus x equal to 1. Now, our aim here is very simple, guys. Our aim is very simple. When you check, you want to find, there are many ways to simplify this problem. One of the ways is to create the third equation from either of the two. Now, which equation can we use to create the third equation? The simplest equation between 1 and 2. The simplest one is 1, because our aim is to make sure that we make between x and y, one of them should be our subject of the formula. And for equation number 1, you can make x our subject of the formula. We transpose that 2y to the right. Should be equation number 3. This is how we create equation number 3. You just make one variable, any variable between x and y, to be the subject of our formula. Wow, guys. Then substitute equation number 3 into equation number 2. Very important. So where you see x on our equation number 2, you put in 1 minus 2y to solve for y. That's the basic logic behind that thing. So where I see x, I put in 1 minus 2y. Here on my second equation, plus y squared plus 3 times 1 minus 2y times y here plus y equal to 0. So for y from this equation. This is FOIL here. I give whatever FOIL as well. You open two brackets and use FOIL. Here I do how I do 1. Then I get about 1 times 1 times 2y, negative 2y, and here then negative 2y times 1 minus 4y plus 4y squared. Are we clear? Plus y squared, and here guys. Then now it will be plus, in this case, I get this y is going to multiply this 1. When you multiply y times 1, get y, okay? Then the very same, I get about y times 1, get y. Then 3 times y, get plus 3y. We are saving time, okay, guys? Sorry for skipping steps here, but please follow me. Hurry, y times 2y get 2y squared again. Then 3 times 2y squared again minus 6y squared. I hope we are clear. Plus y equal to 0. Then are there any like terms? Yes. Hurry. Y squared. Hurry. 4 plus 1. And get what's about like terms? It's about 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 minus 6 again negative y squared. And here, then the y's are one. I've got 3 plus 1. And here is y. 3 plus 1 is 4. And here, then 4 minus 4y. And here you get 3 plus 1 is 4y. And here 4y minus 4y is 0. And now 4y. We are cancelling it here, and we're left with the constant, which is this positive 1 here. Are we clear? Yes, you are correct. Thank you guys. Yes, that's correct. It's about plus 1 equal to 0. This plus 1. I hope we are clear here. Now to solve this problem, it's very simple here. To solve for y in this case, I'm going to transpose this actually this y, I'm going to take this y to the right here. There are many ways to simplify this problem here. There are many ways. 1 is equals to y squared. Here, I just need to remove this negative, so I don't need it. Then for us to find y, I introduce the square root on both sides. Square root plus or minus. Therefore, y is equals to plus or minus 1. This is our solution. Then with this solution, again we've got two values of y. We need to find x with the use of these two, plus or minus y. Okay? For us to find x, where we see y, we put in 1 first. X from any of the three equations. From any of the three equations, but I can use equation number 3 to find x, okay? Because it's the simplest. 1 minus 2 times 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1 here. I'm done with the first equation. Then the last one here, x is equals to 1 minus 2 times negative 1. I get about negative 2 times 1 give it over 1 plus 2 give 3 the answer. Therefore, I'm done with simultaneous equation. I hope we are clear. Guys, on that one. I hope we are clear. Welcome back again. On this video, we're going to continue with question papers for mathematics paper 1, preparation for examinations. And this one is of 2016 November, paper 1 mathematics, national examinations, South Africa. 1.1.2. I've got x squared here minus 6x plus 8 equal to 0. Solve for x in this case. Now, there are many ways to simplify this problem. You can use the very same quadratic equation to find a solution for this problem. But another way of finding solution is by opening two brackets and factorizing. Another way is to factorize. What are factors of x squared is x and x. Remember, you only factorize or use the quadratic equation if and only if the equation is in a standard form of a quadratic. Remember, you must have 0 on the other side alone and have a quadratic equation, a trinomial on the other side, or a standard form of a quadratic equation. That's very important. Now, for us to find the values here, you need to find two factors that I can use to multiply to give me 8 and add the very same two factors to give me negative 6 in the middle there. Now, I know that 4 times 2, from the factor here, we've got factors of 8. What are factors of 8? 1, 2, 4, 8 here. Then you can start with 8 and 1. I got about 8 times 1, 8 here. But 8 plus 1 is not 6. 8 minus 1 is not 6 here, even though. You can come with 4 and 2. 4 times 2 is 8, correct? 4 plus 2 is 6. That's correct. It means 4 and 2 are factors. You put them here, 4 and 2. Now, the sign is a rule. The bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. Now, between 4 and 2, which one is big? Is 4. Therefore, 4 will take the sign of the middle term, which is minus. In this case, put the minus here. Then to find the sign for this part, I'm going to say negative divided by positive, negative. That's very important. This negative divided by this positive is negative. Similarly, negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. That's the basic logic behind these solutions. Then now, I'm not done. I need to find x. I'm going to have x minus 4 equal to 0 or x minus 2 equal to 0. Therefore, I transpose this 4 to the right. X is going to be equal to 4 or x is going to be equal to positive 2. Then you are done here. I hope we are all clear, guys. 4x minus 2x squared smaller than 0. Very important, Leona. Now I've got 0 on the other side, no problem, it's good. But you need to take out the highest common factor for this equation. I hear what 0 the critical values here. Now, how is the highest common factor between the two terms? What is common on both sides? What is our highest common factor? Highest common factor between 4 and 2, you got 2 here. Then the variables that you take out what's common on both sides, x here. And its exponent is 1. And which one between 1 and 2 is the lowest is 1. Therefore, to have x to power 1, which means our HCF is 2x. I hope we are clear. Then you open a bracket. You know, how about like this first term here? You say 4x divided by our highest common factor. Basically, 4x divided by 2x is 2 here. Then negative 2x squared divided by 2x. Okay? Minus 2 minus 1 x. Smaller than 0. Critical values. Like guys, are we clear? Because when you multiply them, they must come back here. 2x times 2 is 4x. 2x times negative x is negative 2x squared. I hope we are clear on that. You just divide the first term with your highest common factor, it's going to give you the term here. Divide the second term with your highest common factor, it's going to give you the term for this part here. Clear? Clear. Now, hurry, critical values. We are going to say 2x is equals to 0 and the second product here, 2 minus x is equals to 0. You divide both sides by 2 here. Then your critical values, and here when you divide both sides by 2, and x is 0 here. That means your first critical value is 0, and your second critical value to ba, I transpose this x to the right. Here to ba x equal to 2. Okay, that means the second product is 2. These are your critical values. Therefore, you can draw a number line of 0 and 2. Now, you do our very same culture. I give what's about our inequality sign in this case is negative here, because they are saying equal to 4x minus 2x squared. It is smaller than 0. All values that are smaller than 0 are negative. So from our timeline, we need to find the side which carries the negatives, solutions, couple of values. Now, I'm going to take any value that are in between 0 and 2. Which values are between 0 and 2? We've got 1, and here we can use 1 for example. Let us put 1 on our where you see x on this equation. It will be 4 times 1 minus 2 bracket 1 close bracket squared. The answer is 2. Come on, when I put in 1, our solution is positive. We just check the sign only. Therefore, our solution is positive. Here, sharp. I just want as a negative. So our number line will not be in between 0 and 2. That's the sure thing, basically. Then now, when I put in values that are bigger than 2, I can say about 3, about 4, about 5, about 6, about 7. Okay? Let me just put 3 where I see x. Okay? 4 times 3 minus 2 bracket 3 close bracket squared. The answer gives me negative 6. Come on. We just check the sign. The sign is negative there. Let me just any value that is smaller than 0. We've got negative 4, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Any value that is smaller than 0. Just let us take negative 1. 4 times negative 1 minus 2 times negative 1 squared. The answer is negative 6. The answer is negative 6. Come on, I feel a sign here. Take negative. Ne? Therefore, if the sign is negative there, we need to check our inequality sign. And it's negative. And here comes which side corresponds with this sign of inequality is the side parts. This parts are okay. I hope we are clear on that one. Therefore, you're not done. You conclude. You say, therefore, x should be smaller than 0, or x should be bigger than 2. This is how you find your solutions. Are we clear, guys? 1.1.4, we have got two to power 3x plus 1 plus 2 to power 3x is equals to 12. Solve for x. In this case, solve for x. Again, aim here is to make sure that your bases are the same. Now, our bases are the same here, but this one is not the same as this 2. Now, how are we gonna make sure that all the bases are the same? Just break these exponents into simpler terms. Just change 2 to power 3x multiplied by 2 to power 1. When you multiply the same basis, you add exponents. When you bring it back here, it's going to be 3x plus 1 is the same. I just broke it down into smaller pieces. Plus 2 to power 3x equal to 12. Are we clear? Then now, you must take out the common factor between the two terms. What's common on my first term and my second term? I can see that there is 2 to power 3x, 2 to power 3x. 2 to power 3x is common on both sides. Then I take it outside the bracket, 2 to power 3x. And when I remove 2 to power 3x on my first bracket, on my first term here, when I remove it, I'm left with 2 and only. I'm gonna have 2 and here plus. When I remove 2 to power 3x, I'm left with 1 and here. I'm gonna be left with 1 equal to 12. I give it about 2 to power 3x divided by 2 to power 3x give 1 and here. And 2 to power 3x times 2 divided by 2 to power 3x. This 2 to power 3x don't divide this 2 to 2 power 3, so you'll be left with 2. That's how we found 2 plus 1 inside the brackets. There are many ways to simplify it again. Then now, keep the constants again. 2 plus 1 is 3. Therefore, I'm going to divide both sides by 2 plus 1, which is 3 again. I'm going to divide both sides by 2 plus 1, which is 3 again. 3 and 3. Therefore, 2 to power 3x is equals to 12 divided by 3, you guys, you 4 again. I write 4 here. Then now, my aim, after I arrive this to this part, my basis should be the same. Now, how should I make this 4 to be the same as 2? I know that I can break 4 into further pieces. I get about 2 to power 2 is 4. I can write it like that. 2 to power 2 is 4. 2 squared, is the same as 4. Then now, my bases are the same. I drop down exponents. Comes 3x equal to 2. I have dropped down my exponents. Then I divide both sides by 3 and be left with x on one side. That's my aim, is to be left with x on one side. I divide both sides by 3. Therefore, x is equals to 2 over 3. You are done. This is how you do it. Are we clear? That question paper, November 2015. Some questions they repeat them, so I'm not gonna do questions that are being repeated many times, guys. Yes, I'm just gonna do questions that are very critical for us to understand. Now, 2015 November, I'm gonna just take 1.3. 1.3, okay? Yeah, 1.3. It says that 2 to power x multiplied by square root of x is equals to 2 to power 27. Now this one is very simple. Already you solve for x and your bases must be the same on both sides. And in this case, our bases are the same, 2 and 2. Therefore, you do what? You drop exponents. Hurry, about x by square root of x equal to 27. Are we clear? After you've arrived at this stage, it's very simple. There are many ways to simplify this project or this problem, guys. There are many ways. The simplest way to simplify this product is by breaking this square root sign. Some will say they can square both sides. Some may square both sides. And yeah, that's the longest way. But the shortest way is by saying, we've got square root and 2 monana and 1. And for me to remove the square root, I'm going to write it like this: x multiplied by, for me to remove the square root, these 2 will form the part of this exponent, which is it's going to be 1 over 2. So this 2 are our denominator. That's how you remove the square root sign. So any number here, it can be true here where in space of 1. As long as there's number here, it's going to be our numerator. Then this 2 or squared is going to be our denominator. So if there's nothing here to power x, it's 1. If there's nothing written, that means it's 1. It's an invisible 1 there. So when I have 1 over 2 is equals to 27. I hope we are clear. Then you know, when you multiply same basis, you add exponents. Therefore, x and x are the same. Therefore, you say 1 plus 1 over 2. 1 plus 1 over 2 is 3 over 2. Therefore, it will be x power 3 over 2 equal to 27. When you arrive this space, you want to apply the concept of reciprocal. The concept of reciprocal. Basically, reciprocal says if you've got x power 3 over 2, you must multiply with its inverse, which means the numerator must be the denominator and the denominator must be the numerator. However, this 2 should be my numerator and this 3 should be my denominator. I multiply it's reciprocal. It's a change, which means the one that is on the bottom should be at the top, and the top should be the bottom. Let's do that, exactly that. x 3 over 2 multiplied by 2 over 3 equal to, what you do on the left, you should do on the right. Okay? 27, I give it to power 1 here. So you can say, I give it about this, and there's invisible 1 here, invisible 1, invisible 1. Okay? This one multiplied by, you only use this one, the latest version. How you don't take the whole thing, you just take the reciprocal of 3 over 2, which is 2 over 3. You say 1 times 2 over 3, not 3 over 2 your own. Then what's about 2 divided by 2 you 1 again, 3 divided by 3, they cancel one another, and we left with x on one side. That's our aim. And we're going to be left with x on our left. Then we just put that on a calculator. 27 to power 2 over 3. The answer is 9. The answer is 9. Therefore, you are done. This is your answer for this question. I hope we are very much clear on this one here. I hope we are very much clear. Now guys, the last question, that's so important. 1.1.4. We've got x squared minus 2x minus 8, it is more than 0. Then now, what's here? Critical values, you open two brackets here, or you can use quadratic equation here to find your answers. You can use quadratic equation, but you can factorize. Now the factors of x squared are x and x and here. Now which two terms can I multiply to give me 8 and add them to give me negative 2? You can find those factors by finding the factors of 8. I give what's about 2 and 4 are factors of 8 and 4 times 2 is 80 and 4 minus 2 is 2. That means 4 and 2 are factors indeed, because when we add them they give us minus 2 couple 2 because 4 minus 2 is 2, 4 times 2 is 8, and you then the sign, very important, the bigger number takes the sign of the middle term. Now this 4, we're going to take the minus sign then I'm going to find the sign for this part. I'm going to say negative divided by negative, okay, positive yes. Are we done? Yes, we are done here. Then our critical values are 4 and 2. And here, I give you when this 4 comes out of this bracket, it changes the sign from negative to positive. Even this 2, when it comes out of the bracket, it's going to change from positive 2 to negative 2. Are we clear? Then you can draw your number line here. You draw your number line, and you've got negative 2, and you've got your 4. And you're not done. Then you draw your balls. Then you're gonna use calculator. And our sign here is negative. And here x squared minus 2x minus 8 is more than 0. All those values are negative, are smaller than 0, negative. Now from our timeline, we need to find all those values that are negative. Which sides are those values found that are negative? Now guys, very important, I'm going to substitute values that are between negative 2 and 4 and values that are bigger than negative 2. Values that are smaller than negative 2 and that are bigger than 4. Now let us start with values that are bigger than 4. And I'll go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. Let's start with 5. Where I see X, I put in 5. I'm going to put 5 there. 5 squared minus 2 times 5 minus 8. The answer there is positive 7. Our aim is to check the sign there. The sign is positive. On my left are positive values. I just check the sign. Let's check the values that are smaller than negative 2. Negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Negative 2. Sorry guys, negative 2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and those values are smaller than -2. Let's take -3, for example. -3 squared minus 2 times -3 minus 8. It gives me +7. Values that are smaller than -2 are positive in terms of their sign. Let's check values that are between -2 and 4. Both -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Those values, let's check them. If they wanna give us which sign between positive and negative. When I put in 0, 0 is between -2 and 4. I'm gonna have -8. Where I see X, I put in 0, 0. I'm gonna be left with -8. Our answer is negative. Values that are between -2 and 4 are negative. Therefore, I'm going to throw my arrow only region wherein our values are negative. They correspond with this one. Which region is between -2 and +4? Are we clear? Then your answer will be written like this. You are done. X is between -2 and 4. X is bigger than -2 and smaller than 4. That's how you want to write the inequality interval. Are we clear, guys? Thank you very much. Up until we're going to meet in next session. Enjoy your day. Don't forget to share and comment. If you need understanding and more clarity, please contact us. We'll assist you. Thank you very much.